listen to the vegan teacher and be vegan for the animals.
Alright, so hey guys, I'm at the Cube of Truth in Genova here in Italy, and I'm just talking to different people who are members of the Cube and asking them how they became involved. And I just met this lovely lady and we're going to talk to her now. So hi.
Hi.
Hi. What's your first name?
My name is Luisa.
Luisa. And I see you have a shirt, Anonymous for the Voiceless.
Yeah.
So you're part of the organization?
I am now.
Yeah. And you told me that you've been vegan for 1 year.
1 year.
Yeah.
Since the time I met the Anonymous for the Voiceless in Genoa on the street, I met them. I watched this TV, and I remained shocked for about a month.
There's people are wearing masks.
Yeah, we're wearing
and I'm just gonna see if there's a mask like this. There's a mask. Yeah. Example. And they're wearing the black shirts and they're holding TV screens. Yeah, we haven't set up yet, but yeah.
We show what goes on in
On the TV screens, what happens with the animals?
Yes. So the moment I became aware of what happens, I wasn't aware. I couldn't imagine what goes on. I stayed shocked for about a month. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't breathe. I cried all the time. And from that moment, I stopped eating whatever had to do with animals. And I didn't ask help to anybody.
Did you tell your family?
Yeah, I did.
And how did they treat you when you were going through this?
They agreed.
Okay.
Everybody agreed, and they said it's my girls. I have 2 girls.
Okay.
They are beginning too.
Okay.
So and then I met my group, my Cube group.
You ran into them again.
Yes.
By accident, or did you look them up online?
I looked, but I met them, and I asked them if I could take part of this beautiful association, and they told me yes. So here I am.
Right. Right. Amazing. And how often does the Cube meet here in Genova?
1 day a month.
1 day a month. And usually it's today's Saturday. Is it usually on a Saturday?
Yeah, usually on a Saturday, and then we do one evening a month of the role play. So
so you practice?
Yes.
Okay. And where do you do that? Like in a restaurant or
No,
somebody's?
we do it online.
Like a Zoom meeting?
Yeah.
Okay. You do practices. All right.
We all the new things, whatever we have to learn. We constantly learn new things.
Yeah.
And then we do that once a month.
Right. So, like for example, this group, Anonymous for the Voiceless,
Yes.
they used to be a group that would talk about humans, human health, and they used to talk about the environment, but now it is really more structured for the animals and sticking to that. And
in order not to exploit animals.
yeah, and so the word exploit is really important. So a little pep talk here before getting started.
Tanto ragazzi, grazie di essere qui, di essere presenti, grazie per il prezioso tempo che dedicate venerdì.
So the group is starting a little bit late, but things are getting set up here. So this is the sound system that they're going to get going. The idea is to raise awareness about what the animals are going through on factory farms and to elicit an emotion in people so that they can realize that dogs are not just the only precious animals on the planet, but all animals have a right to live and not be exploited. There's a cafe right beside where the Cube of Truth is being set up. In this box, they will be creating a setup for some music to be played, which is chosen by the organization to help create a mood for the scene. The Cube of Truth is a good way to connect with people who are vegan if you are a new vegan and you want to start doing outreach somehow. However, it has its flaws in that you can see there are just 2 people in the cube in the way background there, and a lot of people are walking by who don't actually know what the display is about. The TV screens are hard to see because of the reflection of the sun, so my recommendation would be that this display takes place just after dark when there are still people walking around in the city on a Saturday night, going for drinks and things like that. And because there were 7 people on the perimeter standing around who were willing to do outreach, it might have been a better idea to have 4 people in the cube, make it look a little bit bigger, a little bit bulkier, so that it would attract a little more attention. Now some people are turning around as this lady is, and you see her maybe getting a click Maybe she understands what she's seeing, maybe it's not clear enough, and unfortunately, people are not stopping as much as one would hope that they would. I also noticed that people did not have any microphones on them, and there were no tripods set up, so people were not able to use this time to record their conversations, which could then have been put up to social media, which would be much more beneficial than using approximately 4 hours out of their day here, where they did very little actual outreach. The Cube of Truth took place for 3 hours, but the time that it takes somebody to leave their house and get here and come back, that time could be better used if people were filming their own outreach. People have told me multiple times that they walk past the Cube and don't even know what it is about, and even though they have been living in the same city for several years and seen the Cube over and over again, it took them a long time to figure out what was actually going on. My husband came today. He's fluent in Italian, and we had a lot of great conversations with various people. If you would like to find some new friends and vegans in your neighborhood, Anonymous for the Voiceless is a great way to start, even though the organization itself could be improved in multiple ways. One of the main suggestions that I have is that there should be some signs there to explain what is going on, that people can see many feet before they enter the Cube and after they exit, so that there will be no misunderstanding that this is not some sort of a movie scene, this is not some sort of an acting play, that it is actually a serious exhibit about the animals and the exploitation that they endure. I have done multiple surveys standing on the perimeter and asked people if they knew what was going on, and often they really don't get it. They don't know what it is about veganism as a moral baseline, as a necessity for every kind-hearted and decent person on the planet, unless they really take the time to stop for quite a while and talk to somebody. I was able to do outreach to some teenagers who then took my TikTok account and my Instagram account and followed me there. Here's my husband again, having another great conversation. One of the things I don't think we do enough as animal rights activists is to point out that dogs can be 100% healthy on a vet-approved vegan kibble diet. Once people know this, it's easier for them to make the link that if their dog, who has this big jaw and canine teeth sticking out and looks like a wolf, can be vegan, then it is easy for us to also eat a whole foods plant-based diet without having to hurt any animals. Oops, my sign blew backwards in the wind. The reason I have a two-sided sign like that is so that I can do TikTok videos quickly and it won't appear backwards. Hello, little cutie. Thanks for visiting me. Anonymous for the Voiceless uses a specific way of communicating which involves the Socratic method. The goal is to hold people accountable for the animals they oppress. Join us. If you want to learn more, subscribe and press the notification bell. See you tomorrow. Let's follow that vegan teacher on YouTube right now. Let's help her save every chicken, pig, and cow. Let's follow that vegan teacher on YouTube.